I'm Vikram Baliga. I am the Assistant Dean for Outreach and Engagement in the Davis College of Agricultural Sciences and Natural Resources, which is a mouthful. I am an Assistant Professor of Practice of Horticulture as well in the Department of Plant and Soil Science. A community partner that I've worked with for probably 10 years now is a great local nonprofit called Growing Together Texas, run by Dr. Jessica Tullar Caroom. She has a background in public health and epidemiology, and she really looks at food availability and food security and food sovereignty to a certain extent as part of public health, as it makes people's lives better. And we've had a great partnership, and we've gotten to work on everything from events and workshops to we've served on boards together. She's spoken in my class. We've collected data together. There's all kinds of really fun, really great things, both on the outreach and the engagement side, that Dr. Caroom and I have gotten to do together. You know, when we talk about engagement, we talk about outreach, one of the big things we discuss is how do we have reciprocity with our community, right? How do we approach a community in a way that is empowering for them and not a I'm from Texas Tech and I'm here to help kind of thing. And I think that's a huge thing, just the way she works with people, the way she engages with the public and engages with communities that don't need help as much as they need someone to come alongside with them as they deal with whatever issues they're facing. That's something she just does naturally and very well. And so in my programs, as I've thought about how do I work with communities, how do I integrate myself into communities, like I've taken a big lesson from just the way she approaches it. Of all the people I know and all the people I work with, there are a few that are as passionate about what they do as Dr. Tullar Caroom. And I think she has a really great way of approaching this issue of how do we make sure people have food in a way that's approachable, that, you know, she doesn't pull punches, I don't think, on sometimes how dire the situation is, but she's always positive, she's always fun to work with, and she's excellent at, I think, building community and connecting existing communities together. So at Texas Tech, that's, I think, a thing that, especially with the emphasis we're putting on outreach and engagement now, that we're really trying to lean into. And in my mind, there are few people better in the ag space, in the food space, than Growing Together Texas and Dr. Tullar Caroom. One great example, I think, of a collaboration that we've been able to work together on is the Heart of Lubbock Community Garden. So this is a double city lot in the Heart of Lubbock neighborhood near campus. And for years, it's been a actually community garden project. The owner of that land didn't want to just see it get developed, so there's been a student organization working there. Well, several years ago, the land was actually given to the university. So we're the sort of official managers of the Heart of Lubbock Community Garden now in the Department of Plant and Soil Science. But because Growing Together Texas has such a great network of community gardens, school gardens, and people who work in these spaces, we've been able to find grants for rainwater harvesting barrels and pumps. We've come up with community work days and harvest days. And Growing Together Texas and Dr. Tullar Caroom have worked directly with our students. That garden is managed by currently a graduate student and a student organization. And they've worked closely together on projects, on messaging, on just different ideas for building and developing the community garden. So that's been such a powerful partnership that I think personally I would have struggled to find good direction there without her and her resources. Any project we do, any research, any collaboration, any community project, there's going to be challenges. That's part of it. It's part of life. It's part of our work as educators and as community developers. We had some issues at our garden where there were some vandalisms, there were some other things, and it was really interesting because the grad student I was working with and some of our student organizations, I was in class, something was going on, they couldn't get a hold of me, so they called her. She was like the second one on the list of people that, okay, what do we do? How do we address this? And then eventually we were able to talk and stuff, but the fact that someone who's not directly involved, like not this student's boss or this organization's manager, is so high on the call list, that has so much of that relationship built, that they're someone that they can be relied on. I think that's really cool. It tells me a lot about my community partner, but it tells me a lot too about the work that we're doing and the quality of the students we have and just the overall practice of engagement and how important it is.